Episode 44. Might shut the door actually. I was saying I'm going to shut the door, but no one's home. I feel like the energy just stays in the room when the door's shut. I don't know. Episode 44, Matt Gamble podcast. First up, I want to say shout out to everyone that's been listening the last couple of weeks. I've noticed the views go up every couple of days. Sort of just have a look and just see, and it's just nice to see that more and more people are resonating, especially with the episodes a couple of weeks ago where I sort of kicked off the solos again. Call it a new season, or just getting back into it, whatever it wants to be called. But yeah, like just some comments back. One lady in particular, shout out to Jackie from the gym, good friend of mine. She sent me a message. She's like, that just hit me right in the heart. She's like, I just needed to hear all of that. She's like, exactly what you were saying was exactly what was going on. And that's the thing with this, or the intention behind the podcast is to speak about whatever I'm moving through in this moment, whatever my truth is in this moment, whatever I'm experiencing that's real to me that I'm going through, gives people an opportunity to see whatever they're going through. And yeah, so whether it resonates on the same spectrum or it brings up something for you that you might be moving through or something, yeah, it's been nice. But interesting week. When I say interesting, I feel as though it's more gratitude, and just being grateful for whatever I have and whatever is in my life at the moment. I've had a really good mate of mine lose his dad, and a really good mate of mine lose his mum. It's, yeah, it just, and to just, see them move through it and, as hard as it's, watching a friend go through a loss like that, especially close people to you. But then seeing seeing them grow through the process of what they're moving through, and just saying things that just has allowed them to go deeper within themselves, to have more faith and trust, and just know that, their parents are safe and they're looking over them and they're here with them and they can feel them and they know that they're resting peacefully now. That has been the silver lining from what I've seen through these two individuals that I absolutely love to death go through something like this. With obviously one with their mum and the other one with their dad. Just some of the things they've said, just to shine light on a thing that they're moving through, has been very powerful, and I love them both so much, and I'm very proud of who they are and what they believe in, and for them to have the courage to work through this process of this tragic loss for both of them. So that was what sort of transpired as of last week, which instantly when that stuff sort of, you hear that, it's sort of like a bit of a reality check of like, just being grateful for yourself of whatever you've got, and, if you're not in hospital with one of your parents right now, or if you're not in hospital with your kids, or if you're not in hospital with yourself, you are a lucky man or woman. You are fucking lucky right now that, you are here breathing with your loved ones, and yeah, that sort of, especially when it's close to home, like two really good friends, and yeah, it sort of struck that feeling of just being grateful to know that they're moving through a process, and knowing that they have the support and love from everyone around them, but then also watching them grow through a process like this, and it's always the stuff that hits us the most is the stuff that we move through and grow through. You grow what you go through. I love that quote. And sort of, I wasn't going to do a podcast this morning. Had a meeting, it got cancelled, and sort of had freed up a bit of time and had a Radox bath, did some hit with Elise. Shout out to Elise. She's an absolute weapon. She's like the best thing that came out of 2023 for me. Shout out to you, Elise. I love you so much. Did hit, came home, Radox bath, and then I started listening to my good mate Mark Mack's podcast. So I had a feeling of like, just don't know if I feel like doing one, and then started listening to his pod, and it instantly had that feeling come up of like, fuck yeah, now let's go, let's reflect. And his one was on reflection and stuff, and it was like a really good thing, because that's been coming up a lot for me lately. The last week or two is just reflecting on what a very humbling and experienceful, even if I don't know if that's a word or not, but a very eventful and humbling year, with a lot of growth internally through everything I've moved through, which I've touched on in the last couple of episodes, through financials, business, friendships, relationships, all of it. There's been a lot of growth this year, and then it just, I just had a feeling of like, all right, cool. I noticed myself sort of rushing to get set up, and then I went, you know what? This is a perfect opportunity to go lay down and meditate for 20 minutes. And then I'll come back in and press go and go for it. So it's exactly what I've done. And that's been one of the biggest things that has come out of this year, is my consistency when it comes to meditations. If you're listening and you don't meditate, or you haven't tried it, or you just don't know much about it, like, if you're on this sort of journey of self-development, I really recommend you start meditating and finding time to meditate. It's such a good way to just separate from those thoughts. It just gives you that opportunity to just sit for 20 minutes and just be still. I'm grateful in the sense of like, I get an opportunity during the day to be able to just lay down for 20 minutes and drop into a meditation, and knowing that I can put my phone in airplane mode and no one's at home, and I can just sit. For me, I just play sounds. I just type in frequency sounds on YouTube or Spotify, and I just listen to sounds. And for me, the sounds get me out of the words. So when I say that, I mean it goes beyond words when it comes to meditation. It's just a feeling. It's very hard to describe. But when you can really relax and breathe and just focus on your breath and, listen to some sounds, it just gets rid of the mind trying to work something out or rationalize or analyze or all the stuff that the mind likes to do. It gives you an opportunity to just sit and just be for 20 minutes. You don't have to do anything. There's no right way to meditate. It just, you sit, you breathe, and the mind will keep chasing off. Like, you got to do a podcast after this. Don't forget, you got to cook the chicken. You got to be done before 12 because you got to leave. You got this, you got that. And then you just keep going, yep. You just keep breathing, and then it gets to the point where the mind just sort of gives up, because the sound gets quieter and quieter and quieter. And then you just start listening to sounds and breathing. And yeah, for me, 2023, it was like I needed to fucking meditate, because, life can get so energetic so fast, and that goes for a lot of people. But for me personally, with the gym, 5 a.m. the music's cranking, people are moving, people are sweating, people are breathing heavy. There's testosterone, there's, pre-workout, caffeine. It's go, 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 bang, 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 fast, and I needed to be disciplined with my practices to ensure that I slowed myself down, because sometimes I'd finish work and I'd just be on this buzz, on this high, which is great, but it's not needed after work. It's needed during your shift. So now meditation just gives me the opportunity to dial it right back and come back to my breath, come back to being present, coming back to this moment. But back on this year, like, fuck. It's been like the last probably 4 years. It's funny because, like, I say this every time when it comes to December. For the last probably 4 Decembers, it's like, if you told me at the start of the year that this is what I was going to move through and this is what was going to happen by the end of the year, I would have laughed at you. Like, if you gave me 5 different, I'm not going to say scenarios, but 5 different sort of things that I could pick from for the back end of the year, like, this would have been the last one I would have picked out of the 5, and which is, great, because I just accept it for what it is now. So every year I'm just learning more and more of just letting go of whatever things come up, and just letting things play out the way they're supposed to. This is all God's work. This is all universal stuff that happens outside of our bodies. Is all just a big, it's a gameplay. All these things happen, in our life. And it's funny because the sun comes up and the moon comes up and we go to bed and we wake up and we go through something that we think we're never going to get through, but then we get through it, then we learn from it, and then something comes up and we're like, why is this happening to me? And then later on down the track, you're like, oh, that makes so much sense. It's like, just leave it all up to that power. And that's one thing I'm doing more and more lately, is just continuously allowing myself to let go of the stories that come up, And I talk about it all the time because it's exactly what everyone the fuck's going through. How's that going to play out? When's that going to happen? Hopefully they think this. Why don't they think this? I've got to do something so they see this. Is everything okay there? Do I have to check in with that person? I hope that person's not mad at me. What happened there? Why didn't that go like that? This needs to happen like this, because otherwise I'm not gonna be able to handle it. When's this going? All of that stuff. I'm just continuously doing things to allow myself to let go of it, and it always shows up. But it's up to you of how loud or how soft you want it to be. You're the one that turns it up. No matter what, those things are always going to come through. But it's up to you whether or not you want it to be quiet and you want it to have a little bit of a distance away from you, or do you want to be in the game and you want it to be you? And yeah, fuck, how are we going to, oh man, crazy. What are we going to do? We've got to work it out. It's like it's not a thing to work out. It's just letting things come through your body, breathe. Yep, cool. All right, we'll send that off. So that's where my biggest thing this year is letting go. We think we need more. We need more things to make us feel something. It's like you need to let go of more things to make you feel more happy. We think we need more. We actually need to get rid of. We need to make more empty space. Let go of all those stories. Of other people, things you want to happen, things that didn't happen, things that, all that talk. And it still comes up for me every single day, the talk. That little devil on the shoulder is like, man, this doesn't go this way. We're going to be pissed. Or what if this doesn't happen like this? Or what do we have to do so that person thinks this? Or should we go over here just in case they think this? And it all is just up to you whether or not you want it to be you or you want to be able to see it. It's like be the thought or see the thought. You can choose to be the thought if you want and be in it and work it out and rationalize and make up 1,000 assumptions and make up 1,000 different ways it'll go. And then sometimes it doesn't even go that way. And then, or you're stressing about how it's going to go. And then your body doesn't know if it's actually going through it. And then you actually go through it and it doesn't end up that way, and you're like, oh, thank God I got through that. Or, oh, it went the way I was supposed to. Oh, how good. But it's like, how about if you can come to a place within yourself of just allowing it just to play out and just be whatever it is, you know? And that's where, like, I continuously keep doing my practices to bring myself back to today. It's like, okay, cool. My mind wants to go to 2 weeks from now. You know, like, for example, this Saturday we've got an event on at the gym. It's like, fuck, you've got to go get this. You've got to do that. Make sure that's done. You can't do. And I'm like, bro, I'm just moving with good intentions and I'm getting things done, but I'm not rushing it and I'm not burning energy of trying to work it out or trying to get it all done, because it'll all get done. It always does get done. And I'm just going to move today with what I've got to do, with good intentions, good energy, and things will just fall into place. You know, things always fall into place. And I don't know if it was a couple of episodes I touched on. There's 3 different businesses. There's your business, God's business, and everyone else's business. And the only thing you need to focus on is your business. Move with good intentions of whatever you got going on today. You know, be present with your family. That comes first. Be there with them. Put in the good energy at work. Move with positivity and light and love, and just be present as much as possible in whatever conversation, because that just reflects back to you and it just feeds you. You know, that's always a core. That's always a core of it. And then adding in your practices and your things that bring you presence. You know, like for me, I meditate every day. Like most days, anyway. I need to meditate. You know, I like to have Radox bath. I like to stretch. I like to train. I like to listen to podcasts. I like to just focus on my breath. All these things that just allow you to be present. You know, they're a must, man. Like, this year for me, like, fuck, like what a deep learning of myself this year, like deep. Like I went to some uncharted territories in my own body with multiple different things in my life, which was important. During the experience of what I sort of moved through internally, and the stories that were created and the ebbs and flows that I sort of moved through, I can now see with what is transpiring in my life as to the reasons why I went through what I went through. You know, like, you know, especially with some things that it's easy when you go through something that you've been there before. Like you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I remember this. I remember moving through this. And then you sort of can, like, I'm not going to say prep yourself, but you can sort of know, like, you got a bit of backing of knowing that you're moving through something that you've experienced before. So you sort of got that memory, like that core memory of, okay, cool, now I've just got to sort of go back there and work out how I sort of move through it. And it might be different, but you sort of got that knowing, where for me, there was probably 3 things this year that I moved through that I've never been through at all. You know, and one of them was loneliness, another one was financial struggles, and another one was, you know, business struggles as well. So moving through all 3 of those things in one point, it was like, fuck, when the universe gives it to you, like, gives it to me anyway, I get it on a fucking silver platter. It's like the universe is like, sweet, we're going to give it to you all at once. Go through it. Let's go. And then I'm like, fuck, all right. And just when I was just moving through it, it was literally my meditations that sort of got me through some of those days. And not saying that I wasn't going to get through them, but it really shined light on, like, how deep you can go in your practices to really give you that sense of just peace. Like, I just was holding on to this little string of peace. Okay, fuck me dead. I would not pick to go through all 3 of these things in one hit. And it's funny because they all counterbalanced. It was like the loneliness was like, oh, well, if business is all right, you're sweet to be lonely. Or if business is struggling, but you're financially, which business and financials obviously coincide. But, you know, if you're sweet for coin, but business is struggling, then it's sort of like, okay, or vice versa. Or like they sort of all were like a little bit of would have been a bit of a distraction if all 3 of them weren't going through me at once. And that's where it was like, nah, The universe was like, no, we're not giving you that. We're not giving you that. And we're not giving you that. And we're going to see how you go. So now, I'm not going to say if, I'm going to say maybe when I ever move through one of those things again, I've got that backing of understanding and knowing that I can move through it, And all it comes back to is love, man. Like, I just came back to love. I just came back to, like, fuck, my kids are healthy. My family's healthy. I'm here. I move through, me and Janae are like a fucking duo that, are just strong as fuck. And we just move through whatever we move through, and we talk, and we be present with each other, and we just know it's all good. Like, we got each other. We're sweet, and, she's been the biggest blessing this year with some of the stuff I've moved through, and obviously the girls as well, like, and that was literally it. That was it. I was like, we're good. Like, as much as my mind is telling me we're not, because I'm moving through something I've never actually been through before, and I'm fucking shitting it, like, I'm a bit scared, but I'm here, I'm breathing, I'm loved, I love, and that's all I can worry about at the moment. And I've always felt that, but I've never needed to fully action that and just literally let that be it all. Because it's easy to say, I love I've got love and I'm loved and I've got kids and my partner and life is good. But it's very easy to say that when everything else is good. But when everything else is crumbling down, and when I say crumbling down, I mean you're at a place that you've never been before. It's like that's literally all you've got. And it was such a beautiful experience this year, as easy as probably to say now rather than saying it during it. It really taught me to have a lot of self-love and respect for myself and be proud of who I am. Know that not everyone is going to love me. Not everyone is going to agree with me. Not everyone is going to resonate with me. And that's okay too. There was a part of me there probably about a year ago that wanted everyone to see me a certain way, and I'm sure that other people have that feeling of wanting to be seen a certain way, and if people don't see you that way, you put in too much energy to try and allow that to happen. And I'm just like, you know what? Not everyone is going to resonate with me. Not everyone is going to love me. Not everyone is going to agree with me or whatever, but as long as I agree with myself and I'm moving with good intentions and purity and good karma and being present and loving as much as I can, the right people will find me. And they have, like they do, the right people fall into your lap when it's needed, and I've manifested some things this year and they've come to fruition, like, which I'm excited to share in the new year. And I'm excited to share the whole fucking journey of how it come about. Like, crazy. All I'm going to say is that there is a power out there that's higher than you and me that controls this whole fucking earth. And all you've got to do is just dance in the rain and enjoy whatever's going through as much as possible. When you're hurting, hurt, feel it, cry, don't suppress it, don't block it, don't do things to distract yourself from it. Feel whatever you're supposed to feel. We're human, we're here to feel, we're here to be present, we're here to learn about ourselves. That's literally why we're here, to learn lessons. I wouldn't know what the fuck to talk about if I didn't go through what I went through this year. Like, oh, it's a great year, love and what. It's like, nah, bro. It's like, yeah, that's great, but the stuff I've moved through is what I've learned, and it's allowed me to learn more about myself. And I know that all you guys have learned things about yourself this year. This is just a good time of the year at the back end to be able to reflect on that and be proud of yourself. You're still here. You listen to this podcast 25 minutes deep. It's clear that you care about yourself. If you're listening to something that allows you to develop more into the person that you are, and also the person you're supposed to become, I love you. I'm proud of you. Well done. We made it. Another year. Let's go. Just closing off this pod. It's been 25 minutes. Fuck, I can talk. I don't know what I've said either, but it's been landing. So if it's not broken, don't fix it. good time of the year to just reflect on what you've been through this year. Be proud of yourself. The sun still shines. You're still here. You're breathing. You're present. And yeah, for me, I'm only talking about my experiences. Fuck, what a learning year it's been. Probably the most uncharted year I've ever been through, of just things that I've never felt before. And it's made me go deeper within myself to allow myself to find peace with it. But it's setting me up for a platform. Like this was the year the arrow gets pulled back, and 2024 is the year that the arrow gets let go and it shoots for the fucking stars. You know, that's one thing I know. I feel it in my body. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, cool. I know why I've moved through this now. You're gonna shoot my fucking bow and arrow straight near the stars, and I'm ready for it. And I wouldn't have been ready for it if I didn't go through what I've been through, because I'm ready to go back into the trenches again and get put back there if I need to, because I just know that there's more learning there, you know. The pendulum swings both ways, ebbs and flows, ups and downs, smiles and frowns. We're here to learn. It's either you're feeling peace and you're feeling really good, or you're moving through an experience that you're learning more about yourself through. For me personally, that's a win-win. And I know that's easy to say now I'm not moving through something. But if I do get put in that position, I'll have that knowing in myself to go, okay, yep, cool. We've gone through this before. Let's go then. And I'm going to have a little bit more of an understanding as to how to move through certain things. So just know that we're going to get put back in the trenches from time to time to learn more about ourselves. The universe does that, and it's completely okay. We can't fight to allow things to always be good. Like, when it's not good, it's a learning. Oh, what am I learning here? Fuck, I'm learning patience. And I've learned some fucking deep patience this year. And it's beautiful because I've let go, because in that process, it's like, hold on. Work out. And then I'm like, you know what, I'll let go of it. Like, and then it just happens. That's why the letting go is such a beautiful part of this process. Let go of all the stories you're telling yourself. Let go of all the things you want to happen, and just move with good intentions today. Not everyone's going to love you, and that's okay. You just love whoever you love. Be who you want to be. And let's finish this year strong. Fucking shoot for the stars in 2024. Join me. Let's go, baby. Episode 40-something. Pretty sure it's 44. Over and out. Love you all. Thank you for listening. I'm so grateful I've stepped back into this space at the back end of this year, because once again, it's going to shoot me with energy into the new year. Enjoy some time off over the break and just be fucking present with your family. If I can ask for one thing, Christmas Day, Boxing Day, Christmas Eve, whatever you're doing, put the phones away, take your photos, do your stuff. Stay the fuck off Instagram and Facebook. You don't need it. Honestly, I've been not checking it till midday every day, and holy fuck, isn't that a game changer? More so for Instagram. Facebook doesn't really rope me in, but I don't check Instagram till midday. And if you want to take in a New Year's resolution, join me with that, because holy shit, you get so much more shit done when you don't step into the meta world and you wait until midday. And then when you do check it, you're on for 5 minutes because you're like, fuck, life is great. So be present with your family. Show your family you love them. You know, there's some people out there that don't have the same Christmas this year as they did last year, and you don't know if this year will be different than next year. So just enjoy this year for what it is. I love you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting me in this journey. Until next time, let's shoot for the stars, baby.